I'm Kayla.
And I'm Josie.
And this is Casting It Out. On this week's podcast, we're talking about online dating and how much I hate it.
And how it can turn out not that bad.
Yes.
But we're talking about all of the chaos that goes along with it. Because who does not have a horrendous story about someone that they met online?
I know. I could write a really good book if I just wrote them all down.
I feel like I could too. I do also want to preface this with just a warning to anyone who has never online dated. Don't ever meet anyone not in public. Don't ever meet someone that, won't show you who they are before you go and meet up with them. Just be very careful with online dating, meeting people online. I feel like there's not enough of this anymore. I feel like we're backtracking into the 90s of meeting people in chat rooms and crazy stuff like that, where people are being a little bit more reckless than they used to be. Yeah. So I do just want to
send them money.
Do not send them money. Get proof of who they are.
Yeah.
Or if you don't know who they are, just always meet them in public.
Yep.
I really just kind of wanted to start with something about that, because I've seen a lot of our younger early 20s type people around us that have been a little bit more reckless because it's more socially acceptable now.
Yeah.
Rather than when we were growing up, where it was drilled into us that we were going to be stolen and murdered and never going to be able to return home.
Remember those booklets? Do you have to do one of those booklets when you were in school?
I never had to do a booklet.
You came into the school on the weekend, and they would take all your fingerprints and your picture. So that way, if you did get kidnapped, your parents had an updated photo and information on you.
I did that at the college.
That's exactly.
Yep, I did that. I had to do that.
One of those
but now I'm like,
booklets.
Now everyone has my fingerprints. Like, if they wanted to frame me for something, I mean, come on.
Get me.
Come get me.
Yeah, it's free to
3 meals a day.
It's free. It is free to be in jail.
It is free to be in jail.
That is the benefit of jail. And it's probably the only benefit of jail.
I'm not built for it, so please don't use my fingerprints.
Yes. I don't want to go.
They probably don't match anymore. I feel like my hands are a lot bigger now than the last time I did it.
It's probably not the same.
I mean, I know your fingerprints don't change, but...
Yeah. They're probably old and sad now.
My old sad fingerprints.
Yeah.
I've got the oldest, saddest fingerprints anyone's ever seen.
That should be a movie.
Anyway.
Yep.
Let's get started with this week's episode.
Yes. Yep. And how to deal after a long-term relationship.
Well, one of the ways you deal is you download the dating apps. My best friend, Sam, had shown me, okay, this is what you're going to do. This is how you set up your profile. You have to put a bio. Otherwise, everyone's going to think that you're not real. They're not going to swipe on you. You put together all of your hot pictures, but also pictures that make you look like you're fun, make you look like you have friends. But your first picture can't be a group picture. There's all these rules when you're setting it up. So she helped me set up my first Tinder and my first Bumble profile. And once those were set up, I was like, okay. And she's like, okay, you swipe left if you don't like someone. You swipe right if you do like someone. And I was swiping in my hometown. I remember sitting at a bar there and I'm swiping by myself. Because I used to take myself out for dinner. After I had been in that long-term relationship, I just used to go out by myself because I enjoyed my own company. Nice. I wanted to be able to do the same things as I was, but I didn't want to rely on anyone else to do them. Mm-hmm. So, which... loved that for me. I loved going out by myself. I still like going out by myself. I just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But, I'm sitting there at the bar and I'm swiping. And I'm like, nope. I'm swiping left on everyone. I'm rejection hungry. I'm like, I love rejecting all of them. A lot of the time too, in that pool of people would be people that I know, which is oh God, this person's on this app.
The fact that when you're in that small town and the amount of people you see that you're like, I had the opportunity. That's why I'm here. I didn't want that.
Well, also, and then you're like, that's really what you decide to put on there?
Yeah. It is fun because then you're like, that's not that person at all.
But so I went through and I was swiping and basically rejecting everyone because I was like, gross. I know you. I don't want anything to do with you. And I would get I get like a high from the rejection that I was doling out to other people, where I was like,
so good.
I was like, and I reject you, and I reject you.
Meanwhile, I'm being rejected at the same time 1 billion times. It's just like, but it does feel good.
But so that same night that I was first learning how to do that, Sam meets up with me at this bar, and I'm like, Sam, no one's liked me. So like on that same token, I'm like, wow, I feel rejected now that I've been rejecting everyone. And I haven't told her about my swiping experience. I haven't told her anything about it. And she just looks at my phone, looks at me, looks at my phone, and goes, have you liked anyone on there? Or have you just been rejecting everyone? And I was like, well, I haven't really been liking anyone. And she's, Josie, you need to like people in order for them to match with you. And I was like, I hate this. This is stupid. Yep. I just want them to match with me and me reject them.
Yep.
So that's when I learned that you both have to like each other on the dating apps in order for them to work. Where she didn't explain that far.
That's usually key.
She explained that, like, take something from their profile to talk to them about. She gave me all the advice, but she forgot to tell me that this is how it works. You both have to like each other. And I was like, I didn't like any of them anyway.
That's all right. I'm good. Thank you.
That's all right. I'm good.
I think I've had every single dating profile I've had like a friend do it. I think my friends Brad and Carly did it once. Heather's done it. You've done it for me. Because I always take some sort of sabbatical from online dating just to get my mind together. But I just don't want to set it up. So I'm just like, if somebody else does it, I'll swipe. But I don't want to set it up at all. So you guys have always helped me set them up, because I'm like, I don't know. I hate describing or talking about myself as well. So that's partially why I'm like, I don't want to set this up.
It is kind of hard to be like, I remember my first one was like beers, cats, and adventures. Like,
love that for you. Still true.
Still true.
Still true.
Still love beers, still love cats, still love adventures.
That's right.
Yeah.
My favorite season is still fall.
My favorite season is also fall.
Girls.
Basic.
Yeah, basically. Yep.
We're basically basic. No big deal.
Yep.
No, but once I started matching with people, I was like, okay. And I don't know. It was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm matching with some people. I can talk to some people. Like, this isn't terrible. Although I will say I did not last on Tinder. I had it for 3 days and then I got rid of it because I was not equipped for Tinder. I was okay with Bumble, but Tinder I was not equipped for.
I don't know that I've ever had a Tinder. I don't know that I ever got that far.
I don't think you should.
I don't know that I ever want to. Oh, I'm sure it's awful.
It was terrible. It's not a place for me.
No. I don't think that's where I want to go. I think Tinder's probably just as bad as when you finally start talking to a guy and he's like, "You want to take this conversation to Snapchat?" No, I wouldn't. No, thank you.
Honestly, I used to make people add me on Snapchat because I didn't want them to have my phone number. But then I would block them so fast. It's just easier, I think. Yeah. So that way I can just peace out.
I make them stay on the app until I've gone on a date with them, until I've met them in person. And then I move them to my phone because I'm like, if we can't meet in person, then why do you need my phone number? You don't need it.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
The whole, I never checked this app. Okay, then don't check it.
Don't check it.
I'll swipe and find something else and someone else to talk to if you don't want to check it. But I certainly don't want to go to Snapchat. I can tell you that much.
That is a great place to get a lot of dick pics.
Yes, it is. And I don't want them.
And like dudes that like will be like, come to my apartment, and you're like, no, no.
I'm curious, who's asking for those? Why are they always unsolicited? I don't want it.
I feel like there's way too many men that are so proud of their penises.
But
like
you know, it's pride. Not the photo they took. He's not even the first one they took either.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah. They're really working hard to get it up there, and they're like, look at my dick.
Look at this.
And it's just like the angle, and you're just like.
But my favorite part is, okay, so you got a really good picture of your dick. I'm proud of you. However, did you see the background of that photo? Her clothes are fucking everywhere. There's snacks on the counter. Like, I don't want the dick pic, and I also don't want a pic of your messy room.
I know. It's like, first of all, I don't want that thing looking back at me on my Snapchat. Like, there's nothing worse than when you wake up in the morning and you're like, you go to open your phone and you're like, oh, Snapchat from this guy that I've been kind of talking to. And it's just like in your face, just like the meatiest, like weirdest, like penis you've ever seen in your life.
Yep.
Where you're just like, no, like, put it away. It is 7 a.m. and I'm trying to get ready for work.
Exactly. I feel that. I mean, at the same token, I can also be like, well, I sent that dirty text last night. That was me last night. It's this morning. I'm pure again.
I am pure in the AM.
We're not discussing that. That was a last night text, and it's going to stay there.
This is a yesterday thing, not a today thing. And if you brought it to the morning, you should have brought it to my bed.
Yes. Yep.
And if you're not going to bring it there, then I don't want to see it. No. I don't want it looking at me. I don't want it to show up. I don't want to be sitting in my cubicle at work and just have it just like boom. And you're like, oh God, what is this? Is this going to murder me? Is this a weapon?
Midday ones get me. I'm like, what are you doing all day?
Do you have a job?
Where did you find the time? I have no idea where they find the time. And they immediately, like, I can't. Sometimes I get a dick pic, I'm just like, you're going in the graveyard. That's where I put you. Because I have my contacts, I put a little tombstone next to your name, and now you're in my graveyard. Because that's how I have to organize my phone. And I don't put any reason, but sometimes if they come back, I'll put a little zombie at the end. Came back to life somehow.
I've seen your graveyard. I think you have a cemetery.
Yeah, but I like to call it the graveyard. It's nice. It's cuter. I feel.
It's a very cute little graveyard. Of all the men who have done you dirty, of all the men who had the audacity, really.
It's quite sad.
Sometimes
goodness. I look at it and I laugh, and then sometimes I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's depressing. It has multiple feelings.
I think that you should look at it and laugh, though, because that just goes to show how many men are out there that you're like, oh, like, it's kind of weird that you got that far where I had to make sure that I didn't ever talk to you again.
Yes. Or it's almost like proof that's like, look, I did try.
I
tried really hard and it didn't work out.
I tried extremely hard. Would you like to see the list that I tried with?
Yeah. Yep. One of them, my friend had to do a wellness check on me because it looked like we were in the middle of nowhere. Like I had met him before. I thought he was fine. We went back to his place, and I just, because I'm an idiot and I'm a millennial, I accidentally called her on my watch that I still barely know how to use. And it hung up, and she tried to call me back, and I didn't answer, so she had to do a wellness check on me. And that was great for me. It honestly saved me from a lot of trouble, because that guy, I think, was actually quite crazy. So it honestly, perfect. She did the right thing. That's a good friend.
That is a good friend.
Yep.
Sam actually ended up making me start sharing my location with her because apparently someone was being a little chaotic and reckless.
Not you.
Not me. The first date I went on. So finally, after I decided, like, okay, I guess I can like some people. I actually found out afterward that he actually like worked with a friend of mine. But, you know, I go on this date and like, it seems like it's going like, all right. Although I knew that he was kind of going to be douchey because there's this thing that dudes do that always tells me that they're going to be kind of a dick. And it's when a guy says, Tom DeLonge was so much better in Blink-182. I don't know what it is. And like, I love the band Blink-182. But there is something about the man who puts that thought out loud when you're in casual conversation that makes me know that you are going to be a piece of work.
That's your cue.
That's my tell of, oh, this is how this is going to go. Mm-hmm. But at the time I was very in the stage of like, let's power through. Let's just get this done. Like, let's go through a whole date. Like, you know, let's see where it goes. You know, the dude didn't look a ton like his pictures. I'm not going to lie. He was, his body looked a lot different. His face looked different. Like, a lot of his pictures were old. I found out he had a kid, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I kind of want to know that up front, especially if you're looking for a relationship.
I think they should be upfront about that.
And, you know, so I went, and he lived super close to the restaurant we went to and kissed me after the date, which he kind of was a face eater. Like used a lot of his mouth, a lot of it. It was actually not great, but I was still like in the spirit of powering through. Like,
Yes.
let me go back to this dude's place. Let's spend more time together. Like, let's do this. Like, and I hadn't like slept with anyone else. I hadn't done any of that stuff. So I didn't really want to, you know, I was like, I kind of just want to like power through, see how it goes, which I didn't, which is great. But you know, we were kind of hanging out and things were progressing and like dude still kept making out with my face. And I was just like, you know what? I have to pee again. And he was like, oh, okay. And I'm like looking around and like his apartment was super messy. It was just like, it was like a frat house, but also had like children's stuff. His child was not home. Don't worry about that. But you know, I go to the bathroom in his house and I'm like, I'm going to grab my shoes and my wallet and I'm gonna fucking run. And that's exactly what I did. I was like, yeah, let me just like go pee real quick. And then I slid my shoes on, grabbed my wallet, went out the door and hauled my ass down the hallway of his apartment, because it was like you had to take an elevator up, elevator down type situation to get in and out. I ran like full speed run down this hallway, and I'm just like calling the elevator because I'm like, I don't want to face this dude. Like, I don't know, because you never know what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, he loses his mind.
So he's like, he opens his door and I'm pressing the call button for the elevator over and over and over again. He pokes his head out and is like, where are you going? And I'm just like, elevator opens, I get it to close, I'm going down in the elevator, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, gotta get out of here. I'm like, hopefully that dude doesn't run down the stairs. Like, I was pretty freaked out because I was like, I don't know how this is gonna progress, but I'm like, I needed to dip out of the situation, which like isn't the best way to handle it, but I just all of a sudden got like the feeling like you need to run. So then I ran to my car. I like shut the door, like windows are up. It's like dark out at that point, and they have like almost like a little like parking garage, like awning, like a single floor type situation. And some dude like taps on my window, and you know, it's one of the towns that, you know, we lived near growing up. So like, you know, I open my window a little bit, and the guy's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, just like bad date. And he's like, oh, I could give you a good date. I literally like rolled my window up, slammed my shit in reverse, and fucking drove away.
What a good day.
So fast. I called my friend and I was like, I went on a date with this guy and he was yucky. And he starts cackling because he's like, did you just call that guy yucky? I was like, that is the only way to describe him. He was just a yucky boy. Like, he was making out with my face. Like, he was so weird. And like, he wasn't overall like such a terrible person, but he had some weird red flags. Yeah. And then it was just like, I was like, I need to run. And he was yucky. And I'm like, which is like such an unhinged, like wild way to describe a man that I just went on a date with. Like, I sounded like a child, but honestly, I felt that level of disgust. Like when you're a kid and someone puts like mushrooms in front of you and you're like, no, this is yucky. That's exactly how I felt. I was just like, this is terrible. I'm like, I cannot stand this man. I want nothing to do with this. So I hauled my ass out of there. And that's the story of how I literally went on one date when I lived up north and never went on another one again when it came to online dating.
I feel like I've been on a billion dates, and I should be better at them by now. Like, I should be good at dating, and I am not. Like, that's how many dates I feel like I've been on. I'm like,
how are you bad at dating though? Like, what do you mean by you're bad at it?
I guess I feel like I've got to be bad at it if I'm still fucking dating.
Do you think you're like bad at swiping, or do you think you're just bad at when you go on the dates?
No, I prefer myself in person. I hate texting. The sooner we can get off the app, the better I feel about it. But something about like dating, I'm like, there's got to be some explanation why I'm still online dating at this point. So I'm like, I'm sure there's something. That's part of it, I'm sure. But I also feel like when you're out dating, like, I feel like the guys just don't ask a lot of questions. It's like they literally almost don't want to get to know you. I feel like I've asked a million questions, I get to know them, and then if I don't say anything, they say nothing. And I'm like, what are we doing?
The only question they want is about what's in your pants.
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
That's what those types are. I feel like where it's like if they have nothing to say, or men who don't have much to say aren't very nice men. Like, you know how you're taught, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like, it always makes me question if they're the ones that are like quietly just like sitting there and then like end up being the biggest jerk that you ever met because like you did something that they didn't like.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess sometimes I can account, like, I can be like, okay, well, maybe they're just shy. And I'm like fine with that. So sometimes I will give them, like, if they were, it felt like they were shy, I'll be like, oh, well, we can do another date and see how it goes. But if they're still the same on the second date, I'm like, we can't keep doing this. I can't keep learning about you if you have zero desire to learn about me.
That does make sense. Or like when
Yeah.
you go on dates that don't make sense. So I had a guy who invited me out to watch hockey and have some drinks. And so I was there a little bit early. And by the time he got there, I had already had one drink, which is kind of my signature, just to like reel myself in, like get it all, like everything like cool, calm, and collected, ready to be social with a new person. And he literally got there, had no interest in watching hockey, and then told me that when he drinks, he burns stuff down. And I was like, oh. And then that made me feel weird because I was like, if I knew that you didn't drink, I probably wouldn't have drank on this date because I feel like I almost got like blindsided by that, where it's like, were you planning on inviting me out for drinks, getting me pretty drunk, and then basically being like, well, now that she's pretty drunk and I'm pretty sober, I'm kind of like in control of the date at that point, because it's like, if I'm already like kind of tipsy and he doesn't drink at all and I wasn't prepped for that,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like, oh, that's like a little off-putting for me, I think, where it's like, just don't invite me out for dates if you don't want to get drinks, or don't invite me out for drinks if you don't want to get drinks. Like,
That
invite
is
me out
weird.
for, say like, oh, you know, I'm not a big drinker, but like if we, you know, you want to go watch hockey, you want to go do this, you want to go do whatever, I'm okay with that. But don't invite me out for drinks and then don't get a drink.
Yeah. That is weird. Who invites somebody for drinks and then it's like, oh, actually, I don't drink? Then why are we out for drinks?
Yeah, like invite me to dinner, something, or just invite me to watch hockey. I don't care.
Yeah. I do enjoy that that's like a thing on the apps, is they can say like they rarely drink or yes to drinking, or like at least I know that up front. So I can be like, well, let's plan something that doesn't have to do with alcohol then.
Yeah, unless they don't disclose it, where I'm like, but then I'm like, well, if I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you want.
Yes.
Just tell me what you want to do, where you want to go, like
Also,
what your expectations are. Just lay it all out there. And even if you're weird, someone will like it.
Yes. And if a man could just plan a damn date, that's all I'm saying. I want, women just want to be relaxed, not have to do something. And if you can plan a date, you're already like top tier on online dating. If you can do that, honestly, you're probably already married, and that's the real problem. And so, that's the chaos of it all. I just want somebody to plan like a date. Like, oh, I don't want to do it. Please do it. Man up. You do it. I love it. I want you to do it.
I want you to do it.
I don't want to beg for it. I want you to do it.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit more of the planner a lot of the time, I feel like, which I didn't mind doing, because I also, although there was some, I mean, I did have a guy who planned the date, but like he wanted to go to like the Grilled Cheesery, which is a grilled cheese place in Nashville, which, okay, fine. Like, that's like fine. Like, we can shoot the shit. He was like a physical therapist, and we connected over liking that show Letterkenny.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, cool. Like, we can like kind of shoot the shit a little bit online. We get in person. This man is so boring.
Yeah.
I'm like, someone hit me with a car. Like, someone take me out, because I cannot sit here. And I was like, I don't remember anything from that date, but I just remember that man talked a lot, and it was all just boring bullshit. Like, there was no connection there. And, you know, so I got in my Uber and I left, and I never talked to that guy again. So I was like, which, like, he didn't talk to me either. So, like, sometimes it's mutual, where you're like, oh, this is nice. At least we both understood it.
I just did that. We both kind of were like, I'm going to just scoot out of this one. It's not working.
Which is, like, nice, because then other times they're, a dude. I went on a couple good dates with him.
Yeah.
They went really well. And then it was kind of like, I'm not super into it. And he kind of, I think, felt the same way. And I was like going back and forth. And then he deleted me off of Snapchat because like that was like our main mode of like communication at the time. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like we're on the same page here. So then like probably like a month later, he re-adds me on Snapchat. And I was like, I'm kind of terrible. So like, I don't block that many people. I don't do that stuff. Like I want to see the crazy things that they're going to do, which I know sounds awful.
No, that's why I have the graveyard. Because I can still, somebody told me, they were like, well, how are you going to say like, it's like you love saying, who's this when you text someone? I can still text that, even though I know who it is.
Exactly. You don't have to act like as if you know who it is, but also you can prep yourself with like, if you don't want to respond to that person, you know who you're responding to.
Yeah,
like,
now I know what's happening.
Yeah, because if you're really like, no, I don't even want to who this guy.
Yeah, no, that's why one of them has the toxic symbol next to his name. Because he kept coming back. We used too many zombies, and then we had to just put a toxic symbol there. Because I could not talk. Like, I was like, how is this kid still coming back?
How does he keep coming back?
Gotta get rid of him.
Oh my
I guess
gosh.
I could have blocked him, but I kind of enjoy, like, just kind of leaving it where it is and seeing what happens. Like you said, I'm like, I want to see. It's almost like a little movie. I was like, I get to kind of watch this unravel.
Get to watch it unravel. Yeah, with that guy that re-added me, he's like, hey, hey, cutie. Which I hate. I'm like, I'm grown. Don't call me cutie. That's disgusting. Are you friggin' gross? Like, do not call me cutie. I'm an adult woman.
Oh,
and,
geez.
but it was just a lot of, hey, cutie. Hey, what you doing today? Hey. After several of those, he's like, why aren't you responding to me? So then I was finally like, you know what? I'll respond. It's okay. I was like, well, we hadn't really talked and you deleted me off Snapchat. So I figured you weren't interested. And he's like, my Snapchat deleted itself and deleted everyone because when I was traveling, it did that. And I was like, that's completely made up. And I thought it was funny. So then I just like let it ride where I was like, this dude's an idiot. I just thought it was funny at that point. Like I was uninterested. But then like a couple of days later, he's like, hey, cutie. Hey. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, I told him like, hey, I know that you deleted me off Snap. Like, it's cool. If you don't want to talk to me, it's cool. Like, I was already like on the fence of not wanting to talk to you anymore anyway. And then I was like, all right, cool. We're on the same page here. Like, we can walk away from this. Like, and then it was just like, and then even after I was like, yeah, dude, I'm not interested. Like, you deleted me. And then like, he came up with this elaborate lie and then had the audacity to literally just come back in a couple of days later. Hey.
Oh my God. He sounds great.
Oh my God.
He sounds somebody.
It was so funny. Jeez. It was honestly because at that point I had already met my current boyfriend, Jordan. Mm-hmm. And he was literally like, why don't you just block him? Why are you letting him be like, ask you for your attention over and over and over again? I'm like, if a woman ignores you, how many times are you going to try and talk to her again? Yeah. And he's like, I don't know if I would. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, let's not act like as if he's not being weird.
Yeah.
So that was also one of them where it's like, sometimes they just keep coming back no matter what you do, no matter how much you ignore them. Sometimes even no matter how mean you are to them. I feel like they like that you're mean.
Yeah. I think they do sometimes. Some of them do. But that's like, I'm like, that's not me. I don't like to be mean. It's just not, I don't want to do it.
I don't like to be mean at all.
Sure.
I don't believe these men deserve it.
I don't have it in me. I feel so uncomfortable being mean. So I'm just like, just so I don't want to waste any more of your time. I don't think this is going anywhere.
No, I also... I've run more than once because on top of it,
I've never done that.
On top of it, that same guy that said that he burns stuff down when he drinks, which like, okay, cool if you don't drink. But I was also like, oh, this is kind of weird to start anyway.
Yeah.
But then he went on and he told me like this whole story about how like his family had tons of money and about how he was obsessed with racing, and then how he had an ex-fiance and how much he hated her and how she ruined his life and like all this crazy stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is an actual nightmare. Because like I was like, okay, I can get over the fact that like he invited me out for drinks, doesn't want to drink. Like maybe he was just like, oh, I saw that she drinks, so like I'll invite her out to do this stuff because she likes hockey and like goes out and does whatever. So I'm like, okay, maybe there's that. But this dude's like digging a grave that I'm just like, this dude is so weird. I'm like, I hate this. Dude goes, okay, well, like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to call my Uber. And he's like, okay. And I'm like calling our server over. I'm like, I need to pay for my half of the bill and I need to leave now. And like she kind of was like looking at me like, yeah, I can tell. So luckily my Uber shows up within minutes.
That's nice.
And I get in it before that dude gets out of the bathroom. So run again. I told him I was leaving. In fairness, I was like, I'm going to order my Uber. And I got super lucky that it was wicked fast. So I hop in the car and it's like, I don't know, like middle-aged dad. He told me that he had a son who was like 18 or so, like fresh in college. Mm-hmm. And I was like telling him about this date and how terrible it was and all this stuff. And he goes, I hope my son doesn't do that. And then
I'll teach him now.
And then I get a text from that dude and he's like, where are you? And I'm like, I told you I was getting my Uber. And he's like, oh, I didn't get to kiss you goodbye. And I'm like, did you think it was going there? Did you think that this was going well? Did you think point. Bragging about your family money and telling me about your ex-fiance who you say is crazy and awful, talking about racing when I'm like, I don't care about racing. Like, it was so mismatched.
Talking about your ex on a first date at all in a terrible light is such a red flag. It's insane to me.
It's crazy.
Well, if we're talking about that, I don't want to know. I don't care. Maybe she is crazy. Maybe you made her crazy. But I don't want to know.
It's usually the latter.
Yeah. Yep. I don't want to know. I don't know. I might be slightly delusional because I feel like I've just been reading a ton of like books and I'm like, these men are great. And now I'm just like, they don't exist. I would like keep reminding myself that they don't exist. And I'm like, this is why I struggle dating.
Well, I mean, I will say one good thing about online dating or just dating in general is that it really only needs to work out once.
Yeah.
And like, that's like the hardest part because the weekend that I met my current boyfriend, I mean, I was being an absolute psycho. Like I was basically like, all of these men are numbers. They are not human beings unless they make themselves human beings in my life. They are all just another number. And so I planned 5 dates for a weekend. And I had a date Friday to Saturday and to Sunday. I didn't go on my Friday date because he lived kind of far away and I just didn't feel like it. Mm-hmm. So my Saturday morning date is my current boyfriend. We go to brunch. It goes really well. I was like, wow, this guy's much cuter in person. This is great. Although he was wicked late and I got super irritated and told him he didn't have to go on the date with me. Me and Jordan were this close to not going on a date together, which his brothers had come to town and they were all together. His brother was living nearby and his other brother came from Illinois and they had stayed up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. And they do this to this day every time they're together. And so in the morning, he's like, hey, like, I'm going to be kind of late for our date. Can we like push it back? And I was like, it's fine if you don't want to go on a date with me. Like, and then he's like, no, I really want to go out with you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I don't know why I was this person, by the way, when I tell you about what I'm about to say. Well, so I was like, fine, but I'm going to eat cheese before I go. And I'm not going to try. I'm not going to put on makeup. I'm not going to try hard for you. I was literally
You're insane. I don't know. God bless Jordan. I swear. I can't believe he still showed up. Good for him.
I was literally like, it's fine. Just tell me you don't like me. Tell me you don't want to see me.
I would have bailed on you and been like, okay.
Well, so I finally walk into this restaurant that we're supposed to get brunch at. I look around. I don't immediately see him. And he just like puts up his little hand and he's like, and gives me a little wave. And I'm like, oh, he's much cuter in person. So then like, I just like sat down and we were like a little awkward. And we were both kind of like, yeah, dates are freaking weird, right? Like, I hate this. I hate dating. I hate like online dating and like meeting new people. And we kind of just kicked it off by being like, this is strange, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, had a great first date, went, you know, extended the date to a brewery, and then went our separate ways. So it's still like, I'm still going to go on my date for the night, even though I kind of kept thinking about him. But I was also like, just very aware of the fact that like, it's so tough out there that like, you know, it could have been the greatest date in the world and he could have just decided he didn't really like me. And as you know, that night, I went on that second date with this guy. He was so tiny. Like, he had the little man syndrome to go with
like
it.
A Napoleon complex.
It was really rough. And you know, we went to this like cool little spot, great band, you know, got some food or whatever. But I remember I got like some wings and the server didn't bring us like napkins. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, I'll get her when she comes back around. And he like gets up and he hunts her down and is like, you need to give us napkins right now. And I was like, this is my nightmare. I'm like, oh gosh.
Don't talk to servers like that.
I'm like, we don't talk to wait staff like that. Oh my God. I was like, this tiny man's a serial killer.
I know. I mean, like you can tell a lot by how they treat staff anywhere. I'm like, be nice, be nice.
I cannot be nice. I don't know. I was like looking at this dude after that and I'm like, I can't freaking believe this. I'm like, is this what this is like? I'm like, all right. So, you know, I'm in my second out of 5 dates. One that I already didn't show up for. One that I went to that was great. And then this one. And I get a little Snapchat message from Jordan. And it's like, hey, I had a really great time today. And I was like, aw. I was like, wow, that's really nice. I was like, oh yeah, me too.
What a sweet pea.
What a sweet pea. And I'm like, can I tell you something without you getting mad at me? And he, in true fashion, goes, it depends on what it is. Well, he does not play. He does not care. Like, he's like, I'm not saying anything until you tell me what's going on. So then I was like, well, you see, I had a really great time on our date, but I already had a date planned for tonight. But this date's going really terrible. And I keep thinking about how great our date was. And he's like, oh, okay, like, I get it. And I was like, do you want to come pick me up for my date? He did. He had like at the time too, he was like doing Lyft on the side. So he had like a Lyft sticker and I'm like, I'm gonna like call myself a Lyft. And he's like, okay. And like he like when we're like outside waiting, he like goes in for the hug and I'm like, I'm not a touchy-feely person as it is, but I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah. I'm like, I'm never gonna have to see this guy again. I see Jordan's car. I hop in the front seat and I'm like, go. And he goes, don't you think you should have gotten in the back seat so that way he thought you were actually getting into a lift? And I'm like, gone now.
Don't care.
Not my problem. I'm never seen that guy again.
Not happening.
Lo and behold, like a couple of months later, I found out that actually Jordan has a friend who was like, who knew the dude. And I'm talking to him about it one day and Jordan's friend's like, Josie, that dude is weird. Why would you go on a date with him? I'm like, I didn't know it was an online date.
I didn't know
How
him.
am I supposed to know in the moment? But when I initially saw that he knew that dude, I was like, I'm panicked. This is so bad. I'm cooked. Like, it's not going to happen for me. He's going to tell Jordan and everything's going to derail. All his friends are going to hate me. Like, everyone's going to think that, like, I'm awful. But all that to say, I canceled my other 2 dates. And that was kind of the online date that I went on that, like, surpassed all of them, that like I never had to do it again to this day.
Rub it in.
I'm sorry. I know. I mean, but that's like all to say there's a reason why online dating still like exists is because it can work out.
It can
and
work.
It does suck when you're in it because, you know, at first you're like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed,
optimistic.
You're like, oh, this is, and swiping on people is like fun. Talking to people for the first time is fun, and then it starts to get not fun. Yeah, and I understand that.
And then I've become bitter, which is sad. But I think that's why I always took those like weird little like breaks from it, because I'm like, because it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't even want to be on here anymore, and I don't want to go on dates anymore, and I'm like, why am I still on this thing? So I have to take a break from it. But I already took like a 2-year break from it. So that's why I had to get back. But I was clearly already still irritated with it. But 2 years wasn't enough apparently. But I got to get back into like the optimistic side of it, where like this is gonna be good. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine.
Maybe you should tell a man that you're going to eat cheese before the date and
Yeah.
not try.
I'm just gonna start texting and be like, listen, we're gonna go on a date and I'm not gonna give a shit about it. That's how you get them, apparently. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that worked. Jordan, what a trooper. What a trooper.
It's the Midwest in him.
Yeah, he really loves you, because that's not. Even when you told me that the first time, I think my whole body cringed when I heard it. I was like, ah.
Well, you know, every man loves the crazy. It just depends on what kind of crazy that man loves.
Yeah, you gotta
and
get the right
apparently
crazy.
Jordan is a glutton for punishment.
He handles it well.
He really does.
Which is crazy.
Always like it's just like, no, I'm not dealing with this.
He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, all right.
He's very over it, which like is
Yeah.
very nice for me, because if he was if he like fed into it or was just like mad at me all the time or like anything like that, or just like let me go off in my own world and be like kind of crazy, it would not work. It would
You
not
would
go well.
spiral.
Like not only would I spiral, but like he'd have so much like pent up anger toward me. I feel
Yeah.
like one day he'd just murder me.
Well,
like
yeah.
not that he would ever do that, but in the
No.
same respect, like if he never said anything about it, I feel like it would just build up, and eventually he would just hate me.
I feel like there are people like that, and that's why we have the show Snapped. But it's just I can't. I gotta start working on it a little bit better. I don't like the apps, but I gotta get less irritated by them, because I don't want to go. I do like the fact that now that I live in Tennessee, it's like a different pool, and I can also go out to eat wherever I want. I think back when I was home, I was trying to pick places that were over like a half hour away, because it was almost too common to run into somebody you know. And I'm like, well, now I got to explain to them that I'm on a date.
I'm on a date. Don't tell anyone.
I'm on my first date. Don't look at me.
It's not a good date. Don't tell anyone I'm here.
Yeah, because now I got to explain it to you. Now you're going to tell 6 people, and I don't want to have to talk about it again if it goes bad. So I always used to plan them at least a half hour away from where I lived, because I was like, nah, I don't want to run into anybody I know.
Yeah, like,
I
you know,
mean-
everyone in town. It's
Oh, yeah.
such a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
my
because
gosh.
it, and even then, it still happened occasionally. And then he'd be like, oh, who's this? And I'm like, my first date. Can we move? Go find someone
Literally,
else to
I
do."
don't know his last name. Quit asking.
I sometimes just like, what's your name? Like, you tell them. But I will say I didn't like, it almost felt like secure, almost, kind of growing up in like such a small town. And like, if you did run into people, I could be like, oh, I can ask that person for help.
I can ask that
if I
person
need
for
it.
help.
But
That is kind of funny.
that is nice.
That is nice to have. No, there are definitely many SOS texts that I sent out where I was like, this is a terrible date. Send help.
Well, it's like if you got the call from me after a date, it probably went awful. Like, if I'm calling my best friend after the date, it was a shit date. If it went well, I'm thinking about how great it was. I'm not calling her until the next day. But that night, if I'm calling you, the date was shit. I don't want to go again. I'm going to tell you how bad it is. I really should start writing some of these down, because they are insane.
I think that you should. I think that you could write like a little short story book about like
Yeah.
the man in the graveyard.
Yes. I'll just put like dates and names.
Dates and first names.
Dates and first names, and then why it didn't go well.
What happened during that date?
I
And
think
what really set it off?
I wonder if that would be a bestseller.
It probably would be.
Yeah.
I would read it.
Yeah. It'd be just a little short, like almost like little poems or little bullet points. You can get through it really quick.
There once was a man from Auburn
Jesus. Yep. Oh gosh.
who took off his hat and he was balder.
Oh my god. Imagine if I just wrote them all in poem form. That would be sad.
That would be hilarious.
Actually.
Do like a little haiku for
Oh
him.
my gosh.
Everyone gets a haiku.
Yeah, everyone. I was bad at those when I used to have to do them.
Those are hard because you have to do syllables. You're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 575 or 757?
I thought it was 3 different.
It's definitely the 2 on the outside are.
Yeah, the middle one's the longest. I know
Okay, so
that
it's 575.
one. Okay. I thought it was like 375 for some weird reason. I don't. Why are we even talking about haikus?
I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway,
Yep.
I feel like that's probably about it for this week's episode.
Yes. Stay positive. Be better than me.
And it only takes one date, but also we would love to hear about your chaotic stories, your success stories, anything that you want to share that maybe we could share with everyone else around us.
Yeah.
Because we know that the chaos exists, we know that the good exists, and we want to hear about all of it, especially if you're listening to us talk about it.
Yeah.
We definitely need some
I want some good stories too. I don't want just mine. I hate mine.
give us some success, give us some chaos. We'd love to hear it. Don't forget to check out more episodes coming up on castingitout.com and also us on social media. We're Casting It Out, all one word, on every platform you can think of. And if we're not on there, let us know and we'll create an account there.